Good morning from Mount Rainier National Park. Today we are exploring the sunrise section of Mount Rainier National Park. In the summer months you need a timed entry reservation to access many sections of Mount Rainier National Park. There are two very popular areas of the park, Sunrise, which we will be visiting today, and Paradise, which we will visit tomorrow. Both require separate permits to visit, which are on 1 hour timed entry. You can purchase these $2 timed entry passes on rec.gov. It's usually about 3 months prior to your visit, as tickets are released for each month. I had to set a calendar reminder exactly 3 months before we visited, and I had to get online at 8 AM PST, which is 4 PM UK, to purchase my passes so that I could ensure that we could visit. If you want to come here, it does require some planning. Good morning from Mount Rainier National Park. We're up at Sunrise Point at the moment, which has an amazing view, and it's a 360 view all the way around in a big loop. So all the national parks in America are completely different. However, Mount Rainier National Park definitely had the vibe of Yosemite National Park. Lots of mountains, lots of lakes, lots of forests, really green, absolutely beautiful. One of our favourite national parks, to be honest. But definitely, if you love Yosemite, I definitely think you would like Mount Rainier National Park. Today we're visiting the park. We're up at Sunrise area, and there's loads of little viewpoints all up on the main road that you can just stop at and get a view of Mount Rainier. Mount Rainier is actually behind me at the moment, but it's kind of in the clouds a bit because it's forest fires lately. It's got a lot of cloud cover. But it's literally here. So we're at Mount Rainier National Park and we're going to do the nature trail, which is a 1.5 mile loop, but you can see behind me it's a little bit steep, so we're going to take it easy and see how we go. The Sunrise Nature Trail is classified as easy by the National Park Service. However, it has about 300 foot of elevation gain, which makes it a little bit harder than an easy trail. You can also pick up a couple of other trails from the nature trails, such as Sourdough Ridge, Burroughs Meadow and the Mount Fremont Lookout trails. You can follow half of the nature trail up and then turn either way to pick up all of those trails. So we're just doing the nature trail at Sunrise in Mount Rainier National Park. We're about halfway up and we're going to take this trail behind me down. We've just come all the way around and hopefully we're going to have really amazing views on the way back down. This hike has views of both Mount Rainier and the Cascades, looking back over the visitor centre, and it's an exceptionally beautiful walk. If you don't mind the elevation, then it's definitely worth doing. We finished up our walk and then headed off to explore another part of the park. Okay, so let's show you Mount Rainier National Park. So this is the map from the National Park Service, and this is Mount Rainier in the middle, and then there's park areas all around. So our first day in Mount Rainier National Park, we went to the Sunrise Visitor Centre, parked up there, and then did a hike, a very short hike up to, not even sure it's shown up here, but I think it was up here, Sourdough Ridge. And then we walked back down. So we did this little loop here, I think. But there's loads of places you can go up at sunrise. And to drive up there, you basically have to drive up a really steep ridge. And Sunrise Point, I think, might be here, which is where we first went. And then you come in this White River entrance here and then do the loop up around. So these are the fact sheets that you can get from the visitor centre. So we went to all the visitor centres. So at sunrise, they basically tell you all the trails that you can do. So we did the Sunrise Nature Trail, which is 300 feet of elevation. We were also going to do this one, but we ran out of time a bit. These fact sheets are quite good because they give you a map on the back of it. And the ranger that I spoke to at sunrise very kindly drew out the 2 routes for us that we were thinking of doing. So we were at the visitor centre, which I think is about here. And we did this nature trail up here. If you carry on across, you can get to the Mount Fremont. This is called Sourdough Ridge here, as you can see. And then you can also go up to all of these lakes for a much longer walk, which is in the White River area. These are the 2 easy hikes that she drew on here for us, but there's so many hikes you can do from up here, depending on, you know, how energetic you are feeling. So I should probably tell you that the sunrise area is kind of right at the top of the mountain, so you have to climb up and then climb back down in order to either access or get down from there. It's quite steep, so you definitely don't want to walk it, let's put it that way. When we left the park, it was after 3 p.m, so here you can see the huge queue of traffic going into the park where you don't have a permit. So if you don't have a permit and you want to arrive after 3 p.m, you're probably going to have to wait a couple of hours to get into the park, in all honesty. Luckily, we didn't need to come back through the park to get where we needed to stay overnight, but I'd just be really careful and plan and get the permits because you don't want to be queuing for 2 hours at 3 p.m. Next we headed to the Ohanapekosh area just to have a look around. We went to the visitor centre to pick up a trail map. They have all the trails on a map that you can pick up from there. Even if the visitor centre's closed, they've got a little pocket that you can pick maps up from. And we just walked to the Ohanapekosh River and had a little wander around and just explored the area a little bit. So we actually drove from Sunrise all the way round down to Ohanapekosh, past the Stevens Canyon entrance. We didn't try and go in that way. And then because we were staying in Ashford, we carried on past Ohanapekosh, down through the National Forest and out to Ashford that way through Packwood, because we could kind of go around to get there. There is probably a quicker way of getting to Ashford. Good night from Ashford.